ELI 5. How does Tetris prevent PTSD? I've heard it suggested multiple times after someone experiences a traumatic event that they should play Tetris to prevent PTSD. What is the science behind this? Is it just a myth? Oh, I know this one. So, if anything happens, the first memory part that becomes active is called the working memory. This is everything that's active currently, but has a limited storage space, about 7 to 8 items. Your brain looks at these things, and then decides to send it to a bigger storage space, the long-term memory, eventually. Say a traumatic event happens. This event is now in your working memory, and will eventually be saved as this traumatic event. Now I give you a game of Tetris and tell you to play it, which also needs to go into the working memory. You need to remember the bricks and decide how to turn them, which means your working memory is now very busy, and that traumatic memory sort of gets pushed away a little. Your brain only saves parts of it, and loses the strong emotional response to it due to this process. It was too busy playing Tetris to deal with those emotions, so they're not saved to long-term storage as strongly. You'll still remember what happened, but it won't elicit a strong emotional response. It's the same process as for EMDR, but in prevention. Pretty neat. Source: was slightly traumatized for science during a study on this, but also studied neuropsychology. Hence the voluntary participation in said study. Luckily, I was in the Tetris group. We need an FAQ here. Question: would other games work too? A. Possibly. If the other game has the same properties as Tetris, it might. There is, however, no studies done about the subject yet, so no proof, only hypotheses. Question: but how would we practically implement this? A. Science sometimes has the goal to first find out if something works, before it works towards practical implementations. Ideas are, for example, to provide access to games like these in waiting rooms of locations where people come after traumatic events, for example a police station or hospital.